Hi boys and girls, and welcome to Granny Annie's story time. Today's story is called The Tooth Fairy's Royal Visit by Peter Bentley and Gary Parsons. The Tooth Fairy woke from her afternoon nap when Robin arrived in a bit of a flap. "What is it?" the Tooth Fairy said with a frown. Then she saw the gold envelope bearing a crown. She opened the letter and giggled with glee. "Oh no, it's a trip to the palace for me." "Dear Tooth Fairy, Her Majesty the Queen is pleased to inform you that her royal great-grandson has lost his first tooth. You will find it under his pillow. Yours sincerely, the Queen." "The prince lost his very first tooth today. As soon as it's night time, I'll be on my way." That night at the palace, the lights were all out. "Good," thought the Tooth Fairy, "no one's about." She flew over the railings, but got a bit of a fright when flash, she set off the security light. Dazzled and blinking, she shot through the yard and flew with a wallop straight into a guard. "Yikes," he declared as she bounced off his hat. "Whatever was that? A small owl? A bat?" The Tooth Fairy whizzed round the palace and sighed. There was no way to enter, as hard as she tried. And then a door opened. She dashed for the gap. As three little corgis ran out, yap, 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 they snapped at her heels and knocked over a bin with a clatter and crash. What a terrible din! As one of the maids shooed the pooches inside, the Tooth Fairy zipped through the door open wide. "Oh," the maid cried, "oh bother, I've let a moth in!" And she gave the poor fairy a flick with her cloth. She fell on some knickers marked H.M. the Queen and nearly got put in the washing machine. The Tooth Fairy fled through a splendid great hall where cleaners were clearing up after a ball. "This place is huge," she declared. "Goodness me! Now where on earth can this little prince be?" She flew here, she flew there. Then she saw from afar light from a door that was slightly ajar. "Aha!" said the fairy. She peeped around the door and saw an old lady crouched down on the floor. "I can't find my dentures." The old lady frowned. "Where have I put them? I've looked all around." The Tooth Fairy smiled. "Let me try a quick spell. I find that it normally works very well. Oh dentures, oh where can you be? Come to me, fibbly-dee-dee-dee-dee." A pillar rose upwards, and there underneath, clucking away, was a set of false teeth. The lady said, "Thank you," and popped her teeth back. "Now, would you care for a small bedtime snack?" But the fairy said, "Sorry, I'm all in a tiz. I need to find out where the little prince is." "The prince?" smiled the lady. "Why didn't you say? Come, little fairy, he's not far away." The tooth was soon found, a coin left in its place, and the Tooth Fairy saw a very familiar face. "Thank you, dear fairy," the old lady said. "Now please let me help you get home to your bed." The Tooth Fairy gave a great gasp of delight when she saw what was taking her home that night. A fine gold carriage, the grandest she'd seen. "Good night," said the fairy. "Good night," said the Queen. Bye-bye, boys and girls. See you tomorrow.